Alright, so here we are. We're in the session and we're going to get underway, and I will just briefly take you through what my session has in it already. So if I just check you through to the mixer here, you can see I've got quite a few buses, and most of them are all just reverb buses. Now when I send a sound to these later on as we get going, I'll show you a bit more about it, but basically there's about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 reverbs. There's a parallel compression bus, a little bus here called Lush, which has a doubler and an imager from Waves on it, a gated reverb. I don't really ever use that. Yeah, so basically these are all just, there's like 6 different reverb buses there for me to choose from. And on the output, the master channel, all I have is the Pro L limiter, and it's got plus 0.4 of gain. But it's not really doing anything. It's just there to prevent clips. So that's it. But when I start to send some sounds to the buses, I'll probably explain the buses a bit more then and what exactly I'm using. Okay. So I am going for the style of Don Diablo, sort of like very similar, I guess, to his Burning Up remix that he did. So yeah, I'm kind of going to follow the vein of that song. And so the first thing we want to make sure is we have got the BPM right, 126, and we're going to go in the key of A minor, which I'm pretty sure that remix that he did was also in A minor. So we'll keep that in mind when we're underway here. So first things first, we'll start with kick. Sonic Academy kick. Now obviously when I had a little go at making this song before right now and I'm about to film it, I saw that this default kick right here, right now, is pretty much perfect for what I'm looking for to get that sound. And you look here, you can actually see these last 2 points here, which is effectively this is the shape of your kick, the audio, and you can see here with the tail of the kick or the sub or the decay, whichever one you really want to call it, you can see this one's A1 and this one's G1. So if I was to load up this free analyzer here from Vox and Go, and I play a note, and I just do the hold button, you can see that it's pretty much almost, that's G sharp. So if we go up one, it's going to be, if we go up a semitone, sorry, not a whole tone, just a semitone, it'll be in A. So it seems silly that we don't just make that little adjustment now, and so that this kick will be in the same key as when we write our lead synths. So if we just move this one here from G1 up to A1 and check back here and just take the hold back off. Oh. There you go, right there. So this is your fundamental frequency that I'm hovering above, and you can see just down below here on the bottom of the wave there, it says A1 at 54.4 Hertz. So there we have the kick. Now if I just program kick in like so, just going to actually put the velocity up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Just bring it down. Now I'm going to pull this down to about -5, so that we leave ourselves a bit of room to play with there when it comes, towards the end of the song when you need to make volume changes. It's a pretty deadly game when you try and make everything at 0 dB. Okay, great. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to actually make this kick a little bit shorter. Now what I actually like to do, this is a really good tip, is so for me right then, I just pressed Control B, and this is a bounce region in place. I actually like to see how long the kick is. So you can see right there that there is, you might, depending on what you're listening through, you might not hear this sub, but it's there, and that can be trouble when you're trying to get your kick and your bass line, or your kick and your lead, to work really well together in the mix. So with this particular song, I am going to go for a pretty short, tight kick, which will leave a whole lot more room in there for a sub. So, a sub bass which will be played with a synth. So I know you can use kicks that obviously pretty much, the whole sub goes to the next kick, and the kick is there for the bass line. But with this style, Future House, I'm going to make it so it's got a really tight, short kick, and it won't be that subby, and the sub work will come from another synth, which I'll load up at some stage, and that'll take up most of the spaces between the kicks. So you can see here that that's what the kick looks like. So we're going to go in and we're going to make a little bit of an adjustment. So if we come in here to this amp section, and I'm going to bring this guy in here, and we're going to just try and make it a little bit shorter. I know you've got the length there as well, but just going to try it with the amp. Okay, so I think that's sounding a bit better. Let's just quickly check to see how this looks now. There you go. Great. So that's a big difference there, and we can go shorter if we need to, but for now, that's a good start. We have just a nice short kick. And yeah, I'm probably going to end up taking some of the low end out of this kick just to tighten it up a little bit. Might give it a little boost. But we will, for now, just leave that as our kick. And yeah, so we'll move on to some more percussion, and we'll go from there.